So let's talk about it. Why do women fear a maintenance phase? I guess most women I work with have been kind of in a calorie deficit on and off for years, and they're terrified to eat more because they've been told that the only way to get results is to eat less and move more. And the problem here is that your body has been in that deficit for so long that it doesn't see your deficit as a diet anymore. It sees it as survival. So what does this actually do? So your metabolism will downregulate over time, you will recover slower, your hormones adapt to protect you, and over time, fat loss feels impossible, and that's when the frustration really starts to come in, and that's when maintenance then comes in as a really important phase, because it's not giving up, and it's really important to rephrase that. It is the strategic reset that your body needs in order to start burning fat effectively again later on down the track when that phase comes back around. To break it down in simple terms, maintenance is simply eating the amount of calories that your body needs in order to maintain your current weight, for the most part. But if you have been dieting for an extremely long period of time, that's also not the case in terms of the results that we can see. So for some women, this might be 600 to 1,000 calories higher than what they have been eating. It can definitely feel really considerable, and it's why it feels so scary. And if you look at those maintenance calories and you think, oh my God, that's so much food, I've never eaten that much food before, then that in itself is a sign that you need it. But in that phase, the thing is that your energy should skyrocket, your training performance improves, you recover faster, and your hormones balance out. And all of these things are so incredibly key to set you up for a more effective fat loss phase later on down the track. Because for a lot of women, their metabolism starts to upregulate in this phase, which is actually when we can start to see that fat loss happen and that muscle mass increase, even though technically it is just a maintenance phase. So I want you to kind of think of it as building a stronger engine before you take the car out for a longer drive. Let's get a little bit nitty gritty for a second and talk about what actually happens in a maintenance phase. So the first thing that happens is muscle preservation and growth. So you are finally fueling enough to actually build muscle, which gives you that toned look that most women are chasing. The second thing that is going to happen is a hormonal reset. So chronic dieting can mess with hormones like leptin, ghrelin, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones. And eating at maintenance brings these back online essentially and brings them back into regulation, which is so key for general health, yes, and also that fat loss phase down the track. Then the third thing is going to be improved metabolic flexibility. So you can handle more carbs, more food without instantly just gaining fat, because your body trusts that it's not in danger, it's not in that fight or flight mode anymore. Then the last thing that happens is a mindset reset, and it is you learning that you can actually eat more, you can enjoy social events, and you can still maintain your physique without it having to be that all or nothing mentality and that yo-yo trap of restriction, deprivation, and then going crazy and binging that you've likely been stuck in. So let's talk about moving into maintenance if you are currently in that deficit phase without freaking out and without it being super scary. So the first thing that you're probably going to freak out about is the scales, and it is where most women panic, because unfortunately we have been conditioned to tie our worth to that number that reflects back to us, which is absolutely not the case, and it's not a reflection of body composition or overall health. So when you do increase your food, your body stores more glycogen, which holds water, and this is not fat gain, it's your muscles actually being fueled again. So you likely will see that small spike on the scales. It's very normal. And my tip for moving into maintenance without losing your mind kind of comes down to a few key things. So the first one is increasing your calories gradually, so around 100 to 150 per week until you hit that estimated maintenance, rather than just jumping straight up to it. The next one would be to focus on things like performance goals instead of the scale. So how you're progressing in the gym, what your energy feels like, how you're feeling day to day. Also linking into using other metrics metrics here, like taking progress photos, measurements, strength logs of your sessions. All of that is real data and real progress outside of that scale number. And the last thing is remembering that maintenance isn't a forever thing. It's a season. It's the season that makes every other one work better, but it also is your lifestyle. Maintenance is the phase that you always want to come back to. It's the phase that you should be spending majority of your time in, so you can effectively then go into build phases or cut phases. It is the most important one to get comfortable with and to nail consistently. There are a few mistakes as well that I want to talk you guys through to kind of avoid when you are transitioning into this phase. So 2 of the biggest mistakes that I kind of see are the ones that we'll touch on. And the first one is treating your maintenance like a free-for-all. So it's kind of losing control, feeling like it doesn't matter as much, and just going crazy on your nutrition. And yes, you are eating more, but structure still matters. The quality of your nutrition still matters. The way that you hold yourself and carry yourself through that phase is going to set the tone for future phases. If anything, it's the phase where you can dial in the most within balancing your nutrition, balancing your plates, optimizing all of those healthy foods that you're able to add in, adding in lots of diversity, experimenting in the kitchen, because you have more food to fuel here, you have more to play with, and you should be taking that approach rather than more food, more calories just equals less control and less structure. Now, the second thing is not staying there long enough. So 2 weeks at maintenance won't undo years and years of chronic dieting. Most women will need 8 to 12 weeks or even longer in this phase. And like I said before, this is the phase where you should spend majority of your time. So getting comfortable here, spending weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks here can be the best thing that you ever do. So don't expect it to be 2 to 4 weeks and then you're out of it and you're back into your diet. It's not going to cut it. You are going to need to stay there a little bit longer than you probably expect. So if you have been grinding in a calorie deficit and getting nowhere, and knowing that you don't need to push harder, you actually need to work smarter, is probably one of the most important things that you should take on board. Because maintenance is how you heal things like your metabolism, it's how you build muscle, it's how you make your next fat loss phase actually work and get the result that you're trying to chase, so you can hit it, you can get in, you can get out. You don't need to spend your life in a deficit. This is exactly what I walk my clients through inside of Refine and inside of all of my programs: when to cut, when to maintain, when to build, so they stop spinning their wheels and they finally start seeing those results. I've linked below my Softer Sculpted Blueprint. It's a free guide that shows you how to map out your own phases. And if you're ready for me to build that plan with you to really optimize those results and get that one-on-one support, you'll find my link to book a one-on-one call with me to chat about your goals, to chat about coaching, also in the description down below. So if you take anything from this video, stop fearing maintenance, start using it as your secret weapon. And if you liked this, please remember to like and subscribe below, and I will see you in the next video.